Hi, this is Deborah Carmona here, and today's video is about making a raised strawberry bed. Actually, I guess you could call it a ziggurat. I saw this idea, but it was actually on the ground, and it wasn't exactly like this. It did have a wide base, and it was built up like a pyramid. The whole thing is 5 foot square. In 5 square feet, I have 60 planks. Now, maybe I've overcrowded. I guess we'll see in time. Of course, strawberries, they always seem to outgrow their space because they continually multiply and you have to constantly separate them. But I love it. It's a convenient height to work. It looks cool and it will be easy to harvest, and it's high off the ground, so I don't think I'll have problems with rabbits unless they can jump really high. Now my chickens haven't got up there yet, but they might. So you can see by its design why it kind of looks like a ziggurat. It's sort of a pyramid shape. You have a wide base, and notice that it's right at waist level, so it's very easy for me to weed and prune or harvest or whatever. It'll be easy to take care of. See, I can reach all the way across the top here. Is this not cool? Today we're going to show you how this was made. I didn't make it. It was my plan, my idea, but I asked my son, I showed him a picture of something that I saw on Pinterest, and I said, ooh, that's pretty cool. So I showed it to my son, and immediately it sparked an idea in him, and he started drawing on paper, and he worked out a plan, and I went and bought the supplies, and he just did it in just a matter of a few hours. So in this video, we're going to show you how we made this raised strawberry bed ziggurat. This is where I've been growing my strawberries for the past several years. I have it in this cage to keep the rabbits out. Hopefully with my raised garden, my table garden, the rabbits won't get up there. Problem is, I bet you my chickens will get up there, so it's going to be a new adventure. But, you know, working in this, for one thing, is too wide. And I have hinges on one side so you could lift it up, but it was really hard to weed. It took it was hard to weed, especially on this back side, because that's where the hinges are. And I have these poles that I would use to hold the cage up when I lifted it up. But now I'm going to do something different. I'm in the process of recycling my garden. I'm kind of cleaning out my garden area here, and I'm doing something different this year because I want this space here for another purpose. Plus, here we have a lot of trees, and being in a shady spot is not really the best place to have a garden. I mean, it gets a lot of afternoon sun. You can see that the house shadow. This is late afternoon. It's after, I think it's around after 5 o'clock. So then the shadow comes back again. The sunshine on this garden is probably only from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock. So it's not the most ideal place. So I'm moving and recycling my garden to a new location. I wanted to try something different for my strawberry garden this year. So I looked at some different designs online, and I saw something that was pretty cool. So I showed it to my son, and he said he could build that for me. We're building sort of a table because this gets the strawberries up off the ground. Is that going to be too high once we put all the other layers on?
No, it's only going up this much higher than the bottom, so this would be perfect. Perfect. Because the other layers might be up here, but you can reach them.
Okay. This way I don't have to bend over. When you get older, bending over is not easy to do. So I want my strawberries elevated. Here is the beginning. Sort of looks like a table at the moment. Here's the base. The legs have been supported so that they're strong and it won't recycling the old cage and put hard wire down in here. Decided to throw in some leaves. The leaves will also break down and be feed for the soil. This is a burn pile, and after a while it creates this rich dirt and everything gets broken down. So we're using this to fill up the strawberry bed. Strawberries are planted. In this 5 square foot, I have 60 plants. My son calls it a ziggurat. It is a raised strawberry bed. And one thing I forgot to show you is up underneath the structure. It's very important that you have a solid structure to support the weight of the dirt. And you can see that the hard wire that was used, and then we put some fabric, I think it's called weed barrier, on top of that before we put the dirt in it. So it has to have a strong structure underneath to be able to support the weight. I'm sure my chickens will have a good time enjoying this shady spot. I probably will see them spending a lot of time under here on hot days. Here's my previous strawberry bed, and I'm in the process of thinning out the plants. You can see how right here they're grown in a cluster. They're too close together. They're not going to produce a lot of strawberries when they're that close. Oh, here got some with blossoms. Those will turn into strawberries. So I'm separating them out, and oh my goodness, I got so many plants. So I've expanded, and I'm created another bed here. I used to grow tomatoes here. I never grow enough tomatoes to actually do much with them, so I gave up on tomatoes. So now I've got 3 strawberry beds, and I still have extra plants here. I could actually donate some plants to somebody if they would like to start a strawberry garden. I probably started with maybe a dozen plants when I began, and that's the cool thing about strawberries is they multiply. And I want to show you something before I tear these apart. Here's a mother strawberry plant. How do I know it's a mother? Because it's got a baby. See the stringer? Here's a baby. And it's not rooted because it's hanging over the edge. It doesn't have any roots on it. Once those little babies have roots, then you can plant them. But this needs to be in the dirt, and it can't grow out here. And another thing with strawberry plants is they escape. Here's an escapee right here. Got outside the wall and planted itself down here. And I think I saw one over here too. Yep, there's another one. Is escaped and planted itself outside of the bed. So those are things you have to keep an eye on. You don't want to leave these attached because the mother plant won't be able to produce any strawberries. But you have to wait till there's some roots. So what you do with this is you plant that in the dirt. Actually, I'm going to move this because all of this right here is the last little section, and I want to show you a couple of things about separating. I just lifted these up out right here. You could see, I think I can do this with 2 hands. See, I got 2 plants right there. So that was too close together. Here's another plant right there. Now, this is the one with the mama, and looks like there's several plants in here. I see. Here's the mama plant right there. We'll keep the baby attached. And there's 2 more plants, so you can just kind of separate them at the roots. Oh, this is a mama. See, it's got the baby. I'm going to keep that baby attached. And here's another one. See, all of those were like right here. It was too close together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 plants in this one little space. And that's just far too crowded. So it was time for me to expand my strawberry garden. So now I should have lots of strawberries this year. Well, I just have to finish up these last little bit, and then I'll be done with my strawberries. I pulled out the section that was down here, and I've got 19 plants right here. I need to find place for them. So I could start another bed with these 19 plants, or I could give these 19 plants away. They wouldn't produce strawberries very much, being crowded as they were. So they definitely have to go somewhere. So I got to figure out what to do with these 19 plants. Strawberry plants are growing nicely. We've had tons of rain lately. You can see how much the plants have grown. And we have blossoms. First comes the flower, then comes the fruit. Oh, look, there's a weed. It's so easy for me. With this being waist height, I can very easily come out here and pluck a few weeds without having to bend down or get on my knees. I love it. Great design. Oops, there's another one right there. I think that might be a good idea to have all my garden beds high like this. Oh, there's some weeds. We can have, oh, look at that, some clover. Hey, chickens, you want to eat some greens? Clover. It's a great design. Chickies, have some greens. Have some greens. Yeah, I'm throwing food. And it's green. That's another thing I didn't think about. Having it right here in front of my chicken coop. They think I'm throwing out food. And so I could just throw out these little green things and they just go for it. Because they like to eat green things. Some little clover. Yeah, eat your greens. Such a great design. I absolutely love it. Bursting with life. We'll have to cut off some of these runners. When the plants are doing this, they're multiplying. And this is hanging out here. It's not going to be able to root. If this part right here can touch the ground, it will grow into another plant. So if I want that to happen, I have to bring them up here and put them in the dirt. I'm sure I've got more plants in here than I need, but I've got so many strawberry plants. I don't need these little ones, so we'll probably cut those off so that we can get more strawberries. But right now it wants to reproduce. So I think I love this, what is it called? Ziggurat raised strawberry bed. You can see my lawnmower is kept underneath here. And so far my chickens haven't got up here. I'm surprised because, their coop is just like right there. But they have not even thought about jumping up on here. I've seen other pests up here. I haven't actually seen any ants. I haven't seen any slugs, but in South Carolina, we don't seem to have a problem with slugs the way northern climates do. I remember I raised strawberries in Washington State, and we had such an issue with slugs, but I have not had any problem with slugs in South Carolina. Slugs love strawberries, but this has been so easy to take care of because it being waist height, I got a pine tree that drops, so I have to, but it's so easy to tend because it's right at my waist level, and I can pluck out any little weed that tries to grow in here, or pick up pine needles that drop from the nearby tree. It's so easy to take care of at this level. I think all my garden beds should be like this. I don't have to bend over. It's just so easy. I'm likely going to build more beds like this next year to expand my strawberries because they just keep multiplying, and I'm sure there's more plants in here than I need. I started with 60 plants. Look how much it's grown.